The relentless spark, the untold saga of Nikola Tesla. In the flickering glow of a gas lamp, on a stormy night in 1856, a boy was born in the quaint village of Smiljan, Croatia, then part of the crumbling Austrian Empire. His name was Nikola Tesla, a child of Serbian descent, whose cries pierced the thunder like a prophecy of the lightning he would one day tame. Little did the world know, this fragile infant, plagued by visions and fevers, would become the architect of the modern age, a man whose genius illuminated the darkness of human limitation. But genius, my friends, is no gentle gift. It is a tempest, a fire that consumes before it creates. Buckle up, because Tesla's story isn't just history, it's a thunderbolt to the soul, a reminder that the greatest revolutions start with a single, defiant spark. Picture young Nikola, a lanky boy with eyes like storm clouds, wandering the hills of his family's modest farm. His father, Milutin, was a stern Orthodox priest, a man of words and sermons, who dreamed of his son following in his footsteps. But Nikola's mind was a wild frontier, untamed by scripture or routine. At age 5, while his mother Juka toiled over chores, he watched her juggle eggs without breaking a single one, a feat that ignited his obsession with mechanics. "How does it work?" he'd whisper, dissecting toads and birds in secret, his small hands stained with the blood of curiosity. School was a cage for such a spirit. Teachers called him dreamy, distracted. Yet in those solitary moments, under the vast Croatian sky, Tesla first glimpsed the invisible forces that danced around him. Electricity, not as a force of nature, but as a symphony waiting for a conductor. Tragedy struck early, sharpening his resolve like a blade on whetstone. At 17, Nikola fell gravely ill, his body racked by cholera that nearly claimed him. Hallucinations plagued his fevered dreams, numbers swirling like galaxies, machines humming in perfect harmony. He survived, but the brush with death etched a vow into his soul, to unravel the universe's secrets before it unraveled him. Enrolling in the Austrian Polytechnic in Graz, he devoured engineering like a starving wolf. There, in 1878, staring at a flickering direct current motor during a lecture, lightning struck again. "Why friction?" he muttered. "Why not rotation without waste?" In a flash, the alternating current AC motor was born in his mind, a vision of endless energy, free from the clunky inefficiencies of Thomas Edison's DC systems. But visions need funding, and Tesla, penniless and proud, pawned his watch to buy books, sleeping on park benches when tuition ran dry. Across the Atlantic in 1884, Tesla arrived in New York City, a sprawling beast of iron and ambition where dreams collided like streetcars. Armed with a letter of recommendation to Edison himself, the king of invention, Tesla stepped into a workshop buzzing with the scent of oil and ozone. Edison, with his mutton chops and piercing gaze, sized up the young immigrant. "Tesla, you've got brains. Fix my dynamos and I'll pay you $50,000. Tesla poured his soul into the task, redesigning the inefficient beast in record time. But when he demanded his reward, Edison laughed a cruel bark. "Tesla, you don't understand American humor." Betrayed, the idealist quit, penniless once more, digging ditches in Queens to survive. Imagine it, the man who would power the world, breaking his back with a shovel under the summer sun, his dreams buried in mud. Yet surrender was never Tesla's verse. In 1887, fate whispered through the doors of the Westinghouse Electric Company. George Westinghouse, a fellow visionary, saw the AC blueprint and gasped. "This changes everything," he declared, investing $60,000, a fortune then, for the rights. The war was on, the war of the currents. Edison, backed by J.P. Morgan's billions, smeared AC as deadly, electrocuting animals in public demos to terrify the public. "Westinghouse's juice will kill your children," he thundered. Tesla fought back with science, not spectacle. At the 1893 World's Columbian Exposition in Chicago, his AC system lit up 100,000 bulbs in a cascade of light that rivaled the sun. The crowd gasped, the night bloomed eternal. Then came Niagara Falls, 1895. Tesla's turbines harnessed the roaring cascade, sending AC power 20 miles to Buffalo without a single wire sagging. The world ran on his whisper now. Clean, boundless energy, the heartbeat of cities unborn. But glory's crown is thorned. Tesla's genius was a double-edged sword. He saw too far, dreamed too wildly. In Colorado Springs, 1899, he built a laboratory atop a mountain, chasing the dream of wireless power. Bolts of artificial lightning, 130 feet long, crackled from his magnifying transmitter, the air humming with 100 million volts. He spoke to the world via radio waves years before Marconi claimed the credit, detecting signals from distant stars that whispered of extraterrestrial life. The universe is a grand orchestra, he confided to his diary, alone in the thunder. But investors fled. The tower at Wardenclyffe, meant to beam free energy globally, crumbled under debt in 1905. J.P. Morgan, who once funded him, pulled the plug. Free power? Madness. Tesla, ever the poet-engineer, replied, "The present is theirs. The future, for which I really worked, is mine." The twilight years were a descent into shadow. Pigeonholed as an eccentric, Tesla wandered New York's hotels, feeding his beloved birds while creditors hounded him. He invented the bladeless turbine, radar precursors, even a death ray for peace, ideas snatched by governments in wartime secrecy. On January 7, 1943, in room 3327 of the New Yorker Hotel, the man who lit the world slipped away quietly, aged 86. His papers were seized by the FBI, his funeral attended by few. But oh, what a legacy! Your smartphone, Tesla's AC, Wi-Fi, his wireless dreams, remote controls, X-rays, robotics, echoes of his mind. He died penniless, yet richer than kings, for he gave humanity the keys to the stars. Why does Tesla's tale electrify us still? Because in a world of algorithms and influencers, he was raw rebellion, a man who chose wonder over wealth, who stared into the void and wired it with light. He reminds us, failure isn't fatal, it's fuel. That ditch he dug, it deepened his roots. That betrayal by Edison, it forged unbreakable resolve. Today, as we chase electric dreams in Teslas, ironic nod to the car named for him, remember Nikola, the immigrant who outshone empires, the dreamer who danced with lightning.